What's up, G-Show land, and welcome to another episode of the G-Show podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. Holy smokes, it's been a minute. I admit, sorry y'all, it's been a minute since we last posted. About a month, almost a month. We did do a couple of other podcasts in between. Things got in the way. I went to Phoenix. I was out of town for a while. I came back and I never got around to uploading those podcasts. So, that being said, eventually they'll get uploaded, and we'll just call those the lost tapes, the lost files of the Godzilla block parties, you know? So,
the Monarch Classifieds.
Monarch Classifieds, I kind of like that, but I don't know, we don't rock the Monarch stuff yet, you know, that's how boy, 3 Days Awesome, I don't want to step on his toes. But, anyhow, we got a show for you today. Listen, before we get into everything, let me introduce you to my right hand on the G Show when it comes to Godzilla. You know him as Megzy. You know him as G73. I know him as my brother Chase. What's going on?
Wow, man, it has been a hot minute, and it kind of feels strange coming back because it's like you lose that train of going, and then you stop, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, it's adjusting again. But I'm excited for what there is to talk about, and boy, is there a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. Let's just say it. Yesterday, we actually did do a podcast. We did a podcast relatively early yesterday afternoon. This was Sunday, the 17th of February, and during that podcast, we talked about a couple of the topics we're going to touch on in this one, but I also was saying something along the lines of, we're not going to see a new promo, teaser, trailer, anything anytime soon. In about a month maybe, but right now, not going to happen. And of course, I open my mouth, and about an hour later, my brother's calling me up like, dude, they just showed a new Godzilla TV spot on an NBA All-Star game. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And as soon as I hang up with him, not even like 10 seconds later, my buddy G73, he's calling me, dude, they just showed a new thing. I said, what is going on? So.
But what's funny is you're like, we're not going to see anything of the unknown kaiju.
Anything.
And boy, right. Did you jinx it.
Man, talk about eating crow. I literally was like, they will not show anything from those kaiju. They're going to save that. That's going to be a reveal. And, I mean, technically, they still didn't reveal anything, but there's a lot more to go on now. A lot more.
Dude, the speculation is insane. I'm seeing, like, all the speculation from people on like Twitter and Instagram, and they're all talking about it, and it's driving me nuts.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk about that first. Let's just jump all over it. Yesterday at the NBA, during the NBA All-Star game, Legendary dropped a 37-second clip for Godzilla King of the Monsters, where they showed some previously used footage, but then they showed some, let's say, extended footage from certain sequences from that second trailer, that being the two unidentified kaiju that we saw in the second trailer. They showed a bit more in this TV spot. For instance, the crab leg monster coming out of the sand, they showed the thing, like, they showed its legs coming up. So it was like the beginning of what we saw in the second trailer. And then they also showed the mountain mover coming up, and they showed a close-up. You couldn't see his face all the way, but his eye opens. And I was like, oh my God. And yeah. So I'm I'm on record a million times saying that thing is Anguirus. I don't know if I should have seen that image yesterday, because now I'm like, well, Fraggle Rock, that don't look like Anguirus. But it could still be Anguirus. It could be Legendary's version of Anguirus. I don't know. There's no detail in that thing at all. All you see is the mountain falling off of its face, and its eye opens, and in the still image that you sent me, you could see the teeth, you could see the mouth. I was studying that thing this morning like a madman. Like a madman, brother. I was like, come on, man. What is this?
You and I both.
Oh, it was so awesome. But So they showed that, and then like I think the only other new shot they showed, well, there was a couple. Rodan's claw coming out of the volcano. Thought that was awesome. And then Rodan going at King Ghidorah in the sky, which that could be spoilery, you know, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a very long shot. It wasn't you didn't see them actually clash. You just seen them, you know, flying towards each other. And then pretty much it was over. It was over. I think we heard the classic Goji roar, right?
You hear Godzilla's classic roar.
Yeah, which is shocking, but I loved it.
Me too.
But all right, so I'm okay with this 37-second TV spot. I was totally fine with it, even though I saw something I probably didn't want to see until the theater. I'm okay with it as long as they don't give us anything else. And I'm trying not to jinx it here, Chase. As long as they don't give us anything else until the movie comes out.
You just totally jinxed it.
So I'm okay with it. What about you, man? What was your thoughts on this 37-second teaser?
I'm mad. And the reason why I'm mad is because it was just a big tease. And it's like, for one, I know with these TV spots coming, there's definitely a trailer coming soon.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped within this week or next week or anytime soon. I wouldn't be. Because usually when TV spots have new footage, that means a new trailer is very, very close. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something soon. But the thing is, I'm tired of wanting to speculate on these things. So it's like I'd rather not see anything of it so I don't have to speculate.
Right.
Now, however, though, I did love it, though, because it makes me more excited for the movie. Because, for one, that rock monster, whether it be Anguirus or something else, it looks menacing as F, man.
Yeah.
He looked mean. That eye, when it opens, he's like, I am awoken to destroy. I am like one, and it makes me wonder. And I don't want to talk to that topic yet. That's going to be towards the end of this segment we're doing. But
right.
There's something I want to bring up about that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I loved it though. I thought it was so cool because like in the image of it after it like pops out of the dirt, it says like Outpost 67 and it says Munich or Munich, Germany. Really? I think it's Munich. I don't know. My German's kind of off, which is funny because I'm German. But
right.
Yeah, but anyways, it says Outpost 67, and a lot of people are like, does that mean there's like 67 monsters? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, maybe in lore, but I don't think we're going to actually see 67 monsters on screen.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And that's where I'm kind of mad at a little part because there are people out there that think that's what's going to happen. And I'm like, no, that's like a multi-billion-dollar budget movie. I don't think you're gonna. I mean, maybe if they did stick figures, or puppets,
right?
But
they take
you're
the
not going to see that in CGI. No.
Yeah.
And how could you fit 67 monsters into a movie? That's insane. Like you could maybe. I mean. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't even want to think about that because it just sounds dumb thinking about it. It's not something I want to speculate. But anyways, after that, just the clash, the hand coming out of the volcano with Rodan.
Woo-wee.
I mean, I'm not talking much about the crab legs things because it's like there's a lot of speculation that it's just a scorpion or whatever, but. There's another reason why I'm not talking about that, and I'll get to it later. But the hand coming out of the volcano, Rodan. At first, I didn't think it was Rodan, but then I looked at it and I saw the lava coming off of it, and I'm like, either that's Rodan or they also have a lava-type monster somewhere else in the movie. And that would just be kind of, like, I don't know how I'd feel about that, but I think everybody knows it's Rodan. It has to be Rodan. Yeah. I don't think they would put two monsters coming out of a volcano in this movie.
It's Rodan. The claw that came out of that volcano matches up to what we saw in that.
Yeah, and it has 3 fingers on it and stuff. But no, I thought that is insane. But how huge that hand is when it grabs that truck.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me of like Hercules and when the Titans come out and stuff. Like it just, it's cool, man. And I'm so excited to see that in the theaters. I'm really excited for that. But I think the kind of the piece of cake that has me really excited, but also a little bit confused because I don't know if it's just there for promotional reasons or if it's actually going to be in the film. I mean, is Godzilla's classic roar.
Yeah.
Now, Mike Doherty posted a long time when they were filming the movie that he had a soundboard made and it had all the monsters' roars and sound effects for the actors to react to. And one of the sounds on the board says Godzilla classic roar. And then it says Godzilla roar variations and stuff. So that makes me wonder, like, is this roar legitimate or is it just a promotional thing? Because, I mean, even though it says classic roar, what does that necessarily mean?
You're giving me goosebumps, man. Could you imagine we hear Godzilla's classic roar right alongside the march? This movie, like, I love Legendary Godzilla's roar. I love it. But there's no substitution for the original classic Godzilla roar. I mean, like, to me, it goes the 54 roar, then the 84-85 roar up until when they stopped that. Mothra, I think they Battle for Earth, they stopped that. But those are my favorite roars with the like guttural sound behind it. But make no mistake about it, the roar I grew up with before I saw 54 and before I saw 85 and definitely before I seen any of the Heisei movies was what we got during the Showa era. And that is a classic all-time, makes my heart swell roar. So if they throw that in this movie, you know, you don't need to have the guttural sound from 54, 84, and, you know, Mecha Biollante and King Ghidorah. You don't need it. But you give me that classic roar, it just works, man. I get goosebumps.
But see, I'm thinking about that because it says roar variations. And so I'm wondering, like, does Godzilla have more than one type of roar? Because that would be kind of interesting. That would be kind of cool. Like, you know, he roars. He has, like, he can control his voice. And I think that would be something interesting because we never really got that from Godzilla. Like, he had in the movies, he would have one certain type of roar and then sound effects for when he was in pain or like little grunts here and there. But I think it would be really cool if they did it where like sometimes he roared like 2014 or sometimes he did make noises like the Showa Godzilla, or maybe like when he's really mad he makes like the 1954 really heavy guttural roar. Like that would be just so cool. but that would be interesting to see. But I mean, I doubt that would happen. But I don't know. At this, I mean, if just the shred of hope because Mike Doherty gave us the classic roar in that little TV spot. I'm just wondering, like, what are the what ifs at this point? And I'm just excited to find out. And that's something like I wouldn't want to get spoiled for me.
I got you. I agree. How awesome is this, man? Seriously, we're talking about Godzilla's classic roar in this teaser, in this TV spot, nonetheless. It just, yeah, it's fitting. It's fitting. And if it is in the movie, I am so down with it.
And then also, not to cut you off, but Mothra. You hear Mothra at the very end, too. So that's kind of interesting. But, I mean, we hear Mothra in so far all of the trailers. But you hear Mothra at the end, too. But that's not, you know, no one's really going like, oh, Mothra. But, you know, Godzilla for sure. Like, that's going to be interesting.
It's kind of funny. Mothra was not in this trailer at all.
I know, but you hear her at the end of it.
Yeah, right?
That's so funny. Oh. But man, the Rodan and King Ghidorah's part.
Oh, boy. That's where I wanted to go. Yep.
Bro. So my thing is like, from the look of the TV spot, it looks like they're having a dogfight in the sky.
Yes.
But for one, when I laughed, because look how small Rodan is compared to King Ghidorah. It's like a toddler coming at like he's gonna get smacked. And I'm just I'm just like wondering. But the thing is, because it looks like a dogfight, but it's not. But if you notice, they're not flying at each other at like Mach speeds.
Right.
They're kind of just grazing towards you. So I'm wondering, like, is it really them fighting, or are they just kind of plotting? But the thing is, it would be kind. Look, I mean, I don't know if I want Rodan to team up with King Ghidorah. I think that's kind of unrealistic. I don't. That's kind of the case for all the monsters. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where I stand on it, because like in this movie, it's not like I hate the idea, but it's just, you think these monsters, because if they're trying to fight for dominance, don't you think they would kind of be going their own roads after being awakened? Like, it's because it's kind of hard to believe that Rodan and King Ghidorah would communicate in a way to be like, Godzilla's the threat. We have to kill Godzilla, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's strange thinking that they team up. But it's strange also for, the way I see it, if Godzilla and Mothra team up, it's totally like a thing where Mothra is just mutual with it. And Godzilla thinks of it as like a pest or something. And like, if they team up and, if it is true where Godzilla gets hurt and then Mothra gives him healing or the fire ability, there'd be something like, it's not even in his control. It just happens.
See, I don't, going back to that though, 2014 established Godzilla as the balance, and I don't think it would see Mothra as a threat. And I don't think Mothra would see Godzilla as a threat the way so far all the promotional material has been depicting her as a deity, as a goddess. I don't think she is going to fight with Godzilla and vice versa. I don't think they're going to go that route.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like they're going to fight. I just think like Godzilla is just not even going to think of Mothra at all, period. Because again, it would be just as weird for Godzilla to be like, hey, Mothra, you're my buddy. Let's do this. Let's fight these monsters.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it like some sort of animal instinct where it realizes Mothra's not the threat. And
I gotcha. Okay.
That's where I'm looking at it, more along those lines. But whereas the Rodan and King Ghidorah thing, I think Rodan is the wild card. King Ghidorah is the bad guy, hands down. Mothra is the good, and Godzilla is the neutral.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about that Rodan and King Ghidorah scene in the sky, because now it changes everything, the way I think about this movie. Or certain things. And that is, I think that's the beginning of the end for Rodan. As much as I don't want it to happen, I think Rodan is going to die in this movie. And I think that fireball we saw in the first trailer is Rodan actually falling, plummeted back to Earth after being decimated by King Ghidorah's corona beams. Or gravity beams, whatever you want to call it. Gravity beams. So,
damn.
It lines up the color of the sky itself, everything just flowed, and I was very, very upset. Very.
Yeah, I mean, if they are fighting, I just don't see how Rodan can come out of that. I mean, just look at Rodan's defense, going head on with a 3-headed monster. So I believe it, but are you saying you think then they are fighting? That's them actually going to scrap each other in the sky?
I do, and here's the thing too. Here's something actually I wanted to see what your thoughts are on this matter. Going back to the first trailer and then going to the second trailer, that shot of DC, that's a decimated DC, right? In the first trailer, we saw Rodan flying around. In the second trailer, when we were in the cockpit of that plane, whatever the plane is, let's call it Super X just for, for fun's sake.
Fan service.
Right. When we're in the cockpit of the Super X and you see the Maelstrom and you see King Ghidorah inside of the clouds, that to me is almost like, man, that could be happening at the same time too. Do you think
they could be fighting, and that maybe that's when they're fighting?
Ooh, I like that idea too. Because I was like, do you think they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes like they did with, let's say, Avengers Infinity War, where in the commercial you see the Hulk running with them, but then in the movie it's not the Hulk, it's Bruce Banner inside Iron Man's Hulkbuster suit. It was like a bait and switch. We didn't want to give it away, so we showed you the Hulk because the Hulk is a part of the Avengers. But the fact of the matter is, Hulk ain't even in this movie like that. It's the Iron Man's Hulkbuster suit. Like, do you think they may be doing that? I actually love what you just said. It's probably them still fighting.
I don't think they're trying to cover it up.
Okay.
Because in those spots are two different parts in the trailer.
Okay.
They're the way they're shot. They're like different segmented.
Yeah.
I think when we see Rodan, that's kind of the beginning of that scene, and then when we see the cockpit of the Super X, it's when it's progressed further, and yeah, right after, and I think that's when Rodan and King Ghidorah. And it would totally piece that together and make sense. So, yeah, I think if anything, I wonder if that's maybe them fighting, because like either that or I mean, yeah, I think it's that part. I think they're fighting.
I ain't mad at you. I'd like to see a fight over DC between King Ghidorah and Rodan. I think that's pretty cool. We know where the climax is going to be. It's going to be in Boston. So,
but it's funny with you bringing that up with the Marvel Infinity War cover-up thing. What if Mountain Mover is Anguirus, but they just covered it up to look like something different?
Yeah, okay. I want to talk about Mountain Mover for a minute too. Because this is something, and even though yesterday's podcast ain't going to be brought to light anytime soon, we did touch a little bit about this idea when we were talking about Godzilla's eyes glowing now when he's spitting the fire. When that mountain mover opens its eye is glowing blue. It's not a blue eyeball. It is like glowing blue. And I want to ask you this question. What if the eyeball is glowing blue? Because this is crazy. This is going to sound crazy. But it's kind of like when Lino calls the Thundercats and he uses the Sword of Omens and he goes, Thundercats, ho! And then the sign pops into the sky and then all the Thundercats see it and their eyes like light up real quick. And Godzilla's blowing that the beacon into the air. The very first image we got from this movie when Godzilla's spitting the fire in the air. And I think, Entertainment Weekly was saying, somebody said it was supposed to be a beacon, a call to arms of sorts.
Yeah, well, Mike Doherty said that.
Okay, so what if that's why these monsters are coming out? It's the beacon, and the thing's eyes is glowing blue. What if everything is connected to Godzilla, and that's why he is the king of the monsters?
That would be kind of cool. I kind of dig that. But then that wouldn't... But the thing is like, it's hard to believe a little bit of that just because would that mean those monsters coming out are Godzilla's friends?
I don't want to say friends nor allies. I would say if you have a herd of Stegosauruses over on the left side and a herd of Triceratops over on the right side and then a herd of Brachiosaur in the middle, they're not going to fight each other. I
gotcha. And maybe it's one of those things where when Godzilla does do that, the call to arms, it awakens other creatures.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
But would that mean that monster could see Godzilla's atomic breath all the way from Munich?
Hell yes, son. Yes, it does. And it means Anguirus, Godzilla's #1 pal. Oh, God.
Dude, one thing I was thinking about last night before I went to bed, I was like, that monster kind of looks like Zilla. And then I was like, that monster kind of looks like Orga.
Oh, my God. I thought the same
way the face is shaped in the clouds. I was like, it kind of looks like Orga and looks like Zilla. And I couldn't decide which one more. But I was like thinking about it. Like, I don't know. I wanted to believe it was Anguirus, and I'm still like maybe it is Anguirus, but we just don't know yet because it's not fully revealed. But it's missing the horn on its head.
Maybe that's
like Anguirus, the nose that Anguirus has. So I'm like, crown. I don't know if that's really a thing it needs. But the thing is, I looked at that shot more, and it has like almost like a crown in the back, like Anguirus does. like a little, like, you know, like a circular horn set, like almost like a triceratops, like a frill.
Yeah.
It has that, like, in the back of its head. Like, you can't really see it that well, but I slowed it down and I watched it over and over, and you can see, like, a curvature that looks like a frill. So I'm, like, wondering, like, what is this thing? Because, like if it's not Anguirus, it totally is inspired by Anguirus.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and maybe the misdirect hair is the Avengers Infinity War style. They just didn't add the snout to throw certain people off of the trail.
That could be. But, like, part of me is like...
Or it's Baragon.
Go ahead.
Or it's Baragon, because maybe the little curvature in the back is its ears.
That could be.
Because Baragon, his snout is a lot, you know, shorter, more into his face than Anguirus. Anguirus has, like, that alligator almost, you know...
Oh my gosh, it's Baron.
Dude, don't you dare do that to me and mess with my emotions.
It's Varan. He finally gets his ride with Godzilla.
Yes, in a big budget American movie. I'm with it. Give me Varan. Oh my god, dude, you got me open right now. I'm ready to go.
but I'm gonna say, like, if it is a cover up, I'm gonna be kind of bummed because I love the look of that monster. It looks so menacing and scary. So, like, I'll be kind of bummed if it is a cover-up, but I hope it's not, because I did think it looked pretty cool. I thought it looked really, really menacing and angry, and like, man, this thing is not going to give a shit about Godzilla.
Nope. What if that was the Muto head that we saw in that first trailer?
But it didn't have, like, the insect type snout, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It had a very reptilian, lizard-like snout.
It did.
But what if it's just a very, like, fat quadruped-zilla? It's just a four-legged Zilla.
Then that's basically Varon.
Pretty much.
Oh man! All I know
but people are like, it's a rock monster. It's made out of rock, which I could totally see. But then if that's the case, like, I mean, it's either Anguirus or it's going to be some type of quadruped type. And that's the thing: is it going to be a quadruped or a bipedal monster? Because that's the thing, but we won't know. But it looks like it's going to be four-legged.
I don't buy the rock monster thing. I don't think that's really fantastical. Not even Toho has done that, so I doubt it. Yes, they've done a sludge monster before, but I don't think they're going to do a rock monster, especially legendary. So I take that and I throw that one away. That thing is something that was buried under that mountain and hibernated for millions of years and now is awake. But yeah, rock monster, that's crazy talk. That's what other stuff you like. What are some of the things you've heard that are just like preposterous?
Like of that monster?
Yeah,
that it's like Nemesis from the books, or it's like Rockmutal from old school Godzilla concept art.
Okay.
Or like or it's Camebus.
Yeah, I can see that.
The like the turtle type monster.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
I hear strange things. Like, there's still strange things about Burning Godzilla that are really weird too. But like, a lot of people are still like the crab legs thing. I mean, is Kumonga, but I mean, like, at the point, like, you can take anyone's theory on the crab leg monster that it could be Kumonga and just deal with it, because that's the one thing they're kind of like keeping like kind of secret. But the one thing that I did hear that I kind of like barfed at is when they said it's just a giant scorpion. I'm like, oh, how original. I don't want it to be a giant scorpion, and a lot of people are saying that might be, and I just think that's kind of lame in my opinion. I mean, a giant scorpion, like, if it is a giant scorpion, I don't want it to have anything to do with Godzilla. I want maybe the Godzilla G team to just destroy it, you know?
Well, you gotta look at it like this. If it's a giant scorpion, to me, that's different, because we haven't seen that yet. We've seen Kumonga before, so I mean, like, yes, if it's a giant spider, automatically we're thinking Kumonga, right? Even if they don't even call it that, if it is a giant spider. or Kamacarus, even though Mothra kind of looks like a Kamacarus with beautiful Mothra wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would not be mad if it was a giant scorpion, only because we haven't seen that before, and it's plausible, and it's, you know, more plausible than a rock monster, for crying out loud.
Well, the thing where I see is, like, even if it was Kumonga, part of me would still be kind of bummed, but I would be okay with it because of it being fan service. But with it being a scorpion, I'm just like, I've seen so many movies with giant scorpions or scorpions in general, and I just, like, I don't know. I just think, like it depends what it looks like, but a giant scorpion to me, I just think that concept, period, regardless if it hasn't been, like, seen before, is just kind of, like, uncreative.
It'll be, and it's in the desert. It'll be a definite throwback to, like, the old 50s sci-fi giant bug monster thing. You know, like I think it was called the Black Scorpion, or like Them. You know, the tarantula, things of that nature. That's a cool little homage. But I'll tell you what, if it is a giant scorpion, The Rock better be attached to it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He needs to redeem himself.
Running with long hair, shirtless, with a machete.
He really needs to redeem himself. That was one of the worst movies.
Scorpion King.
One of the worst things I ever seen in my life was the Scorpion King. Serious, hands down. But listen, I want to jump off of the teaser trailer topic. I want to touch on those NECA figures real quick. And I also want to talk a little bit about what may come, what can come. And you know me, I don't follow the toys as much the way you or our buddy JR does. But so I want to ask you, I want your opinion on certain things. But before we get into that, the toys dropped this weekend. You sent us a ton of images my direction, and off the top, that Rodan is my absolute favorite one. Absolute favorite. Rodan, who I have a feeling he's going to die, but my absolute favorite was that Rodan on the base, where it's him, like, the volcano's erupting, and he's, you know, wings spread in flight. Absolutely gorgeous detail. It's really one of the best looks we've got of Rodan thus far. I mean, we've seen the SH Monster toys and stuff, but this one to me just looks like it might represent the movie version more accurately. What do you think? Am I bugging, or do you see the same thing?
No, I do. It's funny because it's the same thing with their NECA Godzilla. It's actually funny because Gormaro Island was talking about it too, and they're saying, like, the NECA figures have a little bit more movie accurate than the SHMA. Just the SH Monster Arts just look kind of more better quality.
Right.
And that's for sure, because I definitely sent you that one picture of Godzilla, and he looked like he was on meth. But, no, I agree. I think you're right. NECA it looks very more movie authentic. And, like, they put out the prices for the figures today.
Oh, what's the prices on that Rodan, bro?
They're $22.
What? Where's the pre-order sign up?
Yeah, it said $22.95 for the Godzilla and the Rodan.
Oh, it's bought. I'm buying. Matter of fact, save your money. I'm gonna get you one for Christmas. You're just gonna have to wait till Christmas. Oh man, that's amazing. Are you kidding me? That's a great price point.
Yeah, no, and that's really great, and I'm kind of really impressed that they're doing that, because my 2014 figure was like $35 when I bought it. Jeez. I'm like, it's not that bad, but I'm like, $22, that's a stretch, you know.
Yeah. Wow, that's
but I'm excited for it, because, like, you know, if it's like I always strive. I mean, I'm not a big fan of SH Monster Arts. I have one SH Monster Arts, well, two if you count one of my Predator figures, but I have my 1989 Godzilla SH Monster Art, and I got that because it's my favorite design of Godzilla, and it was the anniversary of it, so I got it because of that. But everything else, SH Monster Arts, to me, just they look good on paper. But then when you get the final products of them, you get, like, derpy, eyeballed monsters with pieces that fall off of them, And to me, it's like it's not worth spending $100 and some on plus dollars on a figure that looks deceiving. Right. So, like, the NECA figures were also prototypes too, of course. Like they're almost like of course I think they're going to, they're not like prototype, but they're in the stage of like they're still being tweaked. So I'm excited because if the NECA figures do get kind of more fixed, they're just going to look more cooler. And for $22, for $22.95, I believe is what it was. I think those look great, and I'm excited for that. I love the Rodan, and I love the Godzilla one. I love the one where he's the atomic breath and stuff. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And I love the blue veins in his skin. I think that's great too.
Yeah.
To me, it just looks cool. It's a total throwback to like Shin God. Like it's not a throwback, but I kind of thought like it's a little bit of a Shin Godzilla nod. But I mean, that's kind of a given with Godzilla. Like Godzilla, like I felt like it was always important at some point for Godzilla when he had his atomic breath to glow. And I'm just glad Legendary kind of did it first,
Yeah.
Aside from Shin Godzilla just walking around glowing nonstop, I like it better when Godzilla, it's like an ability he uses. Because to me, and I know this is going to upset people, but to me, that depicts ultimate power. That depicts to me Godzilla is strong, and his radiation, his signature weapon, is powerful, insanely strong. When it glows inside his body to where his spines, his eyes, his stomach, everything glows. That is, to me, like, this thing is a nuclear, powerful being. And I love that idea. I think it's so cool. But yeah, the NECA figures look just really cool. I'm really impressed. Really, really impressed.
Yeah, I am too. I got to be honest, man. Hats off to that Rodan, the Godzilla, even that Mothra figure. But that Mothra figure doesn't come by itself. It has at the base of the Marvel figure the cocoon, which I thought was great. First off, I absolutely love that we see the cocoon, and so I was digging that. But if I'm not mistaken, do we get a Mothra larva form with that Mothra NECA figure?
Yes, that's what it looks like. I don't know. I mean, like, it would be kind of silly that you could purchase the larva separately, but like. I don't know. I don't know. But I think I'm going to place my money that it comes with the figure.
That would be awesome. Honestly, I think that would be so freaking cool.
Yeah, because I don't know how I feel about paying $22 for a Mothra larva.
A Mothra larva that looks like the Freddy worm from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah. I can't get over that. It's like the things you can't unsee. I can just picture this thing like talking and everything and getting stoned with the dude in the hospital.
No, he's getting stoned with the rock monster. That's not really a rock. Oh, there it is. The bad pun of the day. Real quick, this is what I wanted to ask you, and your more expertise than mine. My knowledge. Do you think that NECA or Jakks Pacific will release some real? I mean, because we already saw what they released in our last podcast we did, where we had to block out the images, and I don't want to talk about that because I don't know if anybody paid attention or don't want to be spoiled. So, but you know what I'm talking about. What Jakks Pacific released. In regards to a certain thing that has the internet ablaze. Do you think that either Jakks Pacific or NECA or even SH Monster Arts might release early some of these new creatures? Like, and just ruin the movie?
Yeah, it's highly possible. Because this isn't even like the end of the merchandise embargo. This is just the beginning. And I know but see, the thing is like, the embargo doesn't end till like April something.
Oh, God.
And I think it's like April 20th, because I think that's when the toys come out. Sometime in April. And I think that things are going to be leaked. I hope not. but I don't know. I don't know for sure because we don't know at this point. I don't think Jack Pacific will. I think Jack Pacific will specifically be just Godzilla, but I definitely think Bandai or I mean I don't know. I don't even think Necca would. I don't. But I'm pretty. I don't know, man. Actually, I could see Jack Pacific doing stuff of like the unknown monsters because like they're not specifically inclined only to Godzilla and the gang. So it's not like NECA who would only do like because NECA's only going to do figures that they know they're going to make money.
Right.
And Bandai's only doing your classics. I mean, it's possible maybe down the line SH Monster Arts does figures of the monsters, but they didn't do any of the Mutos. So I don't know. I mean, we got Muto products like the head with the one Godzilla, but I don't know if SH Monsters. I mean, unless those like unknown kaiju monsters become big fan favorites, then I don't know. But it's kind of hard to tell in this movie because I mean, like it'd be kind of hard to think about that. With it being a Godzilla movie, that would mean those monsters would not be just cameos,
Right.
And then, so that would mean, and that's actually kind of one of the things I wanted to talk to you about because, like, but we'll go into it in just a minute after this. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see. I think if anything gets leaked, it's just going to be more products of just the lines. Like we're going to start seeing like clothes, shirts. Probably seeing stuff like little school like kid stuff or like backpacks or some stuff like that.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, figure like for toys, I'm not sure if we're gonna. I'm not sure we're gonna get figures of these kaiju.
I'm afraid of something like Jack Pacific where they do they're not super detailed. They do play sets, and I'm just afraid that we might get like a play set where it's like. Mountain Mover and Godzilla, and Mountain Mover is revealed.
Yeah, and that would totally be a spoiler, and I totally see that because that's what they did with 2014. That's what they totally did with 2014.
Right, with the Mutos.
San Francisco scene.
That's right.
Yeah, and they did the Hawk Muto and the Unwinged Muto, and that's how everybody knew there were two Mutos was because before the trailer they didn't show it, but. There was only the one without wings and one with wings, and some people thought it was still the one with wings. But then there's like, no, this one doesn't have wings, and it's a female. And then we're like, oh, son of a bee, And
thanks a lot, Jax.
And then it turns out in the next trailer there's two Mutos, and so yeah, Jack Pacific spoiled quite a bit, and they did it again with a certain. Godzilla thing, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to think. But on the subject matter of that, though, with the Scorpion monster and the Rock monster being in the trailers twice now, is it kind of making it seem like these two specific monsters are having some sort of an importance?
I wouldn't go as far as saying that because I don't think... So, you know my stance on the trailers. I really don't want to see nothing. The second trailer was the perfect, a perfect example of everything I needed to see for this particular movie. It's Godzilla. We're going to see it anyway, right? But that second trailer was everything I needed to see and not see nothing else. The way that trailer ends with Godzilla and King Ghidorah running at each other and that clash at the end was perfect. Perfection. Seeing Rodan, seeing Mothra, it was perfection. What I think is they don't want to either A, start recycling like I had said, previously to you, recycling images from previous trailers, and B, not show anything new. Now, my biggest complaint with Kong Skull Island was when I saw the movie, I felt like I already saw the movie because everything I saw in the trailers was every big piece in that film, with the exception of not even because Kong when he was getting napalmed in the water was in the trailers too. So I felt like I've seen this movie already in bursts, in short bursts. But you just know this is happening now. This is happening now. There was nothing left for the imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was an issue with Legendary. I don't know if I was the only one who spoke out against it, or if there were others who were like, yo, what is this? Why are you doing it? But I would hope that Legendary learned their lesson from that and not show nothing too much with this new movie. So, that being said, these two new kaiju, I don't think they're important in the grand scheme of things, because you do want to allot more time to, let's say, the all-stars of this film. And I'm, again, excluding Godzilla because it's his movie. But the all-stars being Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. I don't think by adding two new creatures to the mix and making them important, I don't think that's the right move. It takes away from the money you spent on getting Toho to sign off on these other creatures.
Yeah.
You know?
But do you think maybe they're just not important yet? Maybe Godzilla versus Kong would be a different story?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, and I honestly believe that we haven't seen nothing yet. I do not for a minute believe that those are the only two secrets we're going to see. And if that's the case, then Legendary, keep me thinking that way until the movie drops. So you can make me fall on the floor and have spasms of joy. You know? Because that's what I want.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing, because it's like, where do we go from here? I mean, it's funny because I even said, like, you asked me, like, you said, what would you like to see in the next trailer? Or I said, like, something I'd like to see is like, and I said I'd kind of like to see a little bit more of the, or was it I didn't want to see anything of the unknown kaiju, or something like that, or a little bit more. I wasn't sure which one I said. I don't remember, but I said something about those lines, and now it's like, in trailer 3, what do you actually do? You know, and like, I'm nervous because it's like, with this TV spot showing so much, like, even that little bit is a little bit too much for me. I'm just like, what is trailer 3 gonna show? And I remember you said yesterday, like, you hope and you think it's just gonna be of Madison Russell, more Madison Russell.
Yeah,
I hope that's the case. I really do, because at this point, like, they're kind of like starting to shoot their guns a little bit.
Yeah,
and I'm getting nervous. But what would be really cool to see is, like, you see the monsters from Madison Russell's perspective. It's like at one point, like, that would be cool. But leave it at that. Leave it at that. Don't show too much, but I'm just nervous though. I'm really worried about, like, they're gonna show. I just don't want them to take the Kong Skull Island route, because that was my thing too. When I went and saw Kong Skull Island, I was bummed because, like, I mean, like, I was gonna see it anyways because I wanted to see the film, but I was bummed because there wasn't really anything left in the movie to excite me.
Right.
And I was really upset, and I didn't understand why the trailers did that. I really don't. But
I'll tell you why they did that. I tell you why they did that. Because they wanted to show you that all the complaints were heard about G14. Oh, it wasn't enough Godzilla. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, here's Kong in all its glory, in broad daylight, in beautiful HD, and exact. Listen, I liked the movie. I was disappointed because I felt like I had seen the movie before I saw the movie. But I still enjoy that movie. And it is an absolute blast to watch. It is one of the, like, in just kaiju filming, it is one of the best looking kaiju movies. It is. Kong is absolutely gorgeous in that movie.
It's one of the best King Kong movies. I mean, not the best, but one of the best.
There's not a lot of Kong movies to go on, but I totally see that. It's definitely.
Or let's put it this way: if you want a good, like, action monster movie, it's one of the best action monster movies.
It is, but then again, you could also just go on YouTube and watch that entire thing for free with the commercials. But anyway, I digress. What I'm thinking with this new trailer is, what I'm hoping for is, like you said, a little bit more story focused, a little bit more human characters getting into it, Maybe we see the organization rear its ugly head. I would like to see that, because now this is what you've done. You've given us that first trailer was a very good teaser. Very good, right? But the second trailer was the monsters. You gave us the monsters and you said, here we go, right? The third trailer, though, now give us the story. Intrigue the people who don't care about this movie because of the name, it's Godzilla. Give them something to say, whoa, what the hell is this about? Like, what's going on here? Because so far what we know about the story is it's intriguing. There's a shady organization trying to do some shady business. Elaborate on that for this next trailer. And show maybe 1 or 2 new shots of Godzilla. Okay? Of Godzilla. If you're going to show any other creatures, then just show them doing, like, for instance, Rodan doing the barrel roll. I love that shot. I really wish I would have seen it in the theater, though. You know? I really wish that was left for me in the theaters. And I would have been like, oh my God! But still, great shot. Really good for the trailer. Don't show nothing else. Don't show nothing else. If you want to show anything with King Ghidorah, you know what I wouldn't be mad at? Shooting the gravity beams. I'm okay with that. We know it's going to happen. But you don't even have to show it hitting anything. Just show him, because they lead up to that point in the second trailer. You see the light in its neck starting and he's about to go. Show that. I'm okay with that. I'm even okay with showing Mothra maybe busting out of the cocoon. I'm cool with that. But that's it. Don't show the monsters fighting. Don't do it. That's what the second trailer was there for. Show more of the story. Give me more of that shady organization. That's what I want to know about. Give me that.
It's so funny you bring that up, and and one thing about this 30-second TV spot, something that's kind of not being talked about, is you actually hear dialogue from Vera Farmiga's character.
Yep.
Like, wow. Doesn't she sound like a corrupt, bad person? The time has come. She sounds like she is like a villain. But the thing is, I don't know if she is, but...
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe, yeah, dude, you nailed it. You know what? In the first trailer, Millie Bobby Brown is crying and looks at somebody and says, you're a monster. And that's her mother. It's gotta be. Wow, you nailed it, bro. She's the bad guy.
I mean, I want to believe that, but it's like I don't want to, like, overthink, like, yet, because the way the trailer is put together, it's like it may just look that way. It may just be like a tease, because...
No, but in that trailer, when she says it you know, you're automatically thinking of monsters and stuff. But why would she be so upset and crying that way? Yeah, she doesn't come across...
I think maybe it could be even Charles Dance's character she's talking to.
See, but for me, it doesn't come across like she's a... how could I put this? Like she's... good God. She comes off not more as 11 from her Stranger Things role, but she doesn't come off as a damsel in distress. Even though she's playing a child, you know, essentially. And a child in a grown man's world getting caught up in some stuff that a child should not be caught up in could be very frightening. But it doesn't seem like she's playing that. You know, like it doesn't seem that her character falls prey or victim to that. It seems she's stronger than that, right? So if it is Charles Dance, who I'm still going on record and saying that that's actually Loki, just grown up now. If it is him, okay, maybe she's crying because he killed her mother. But if it is because of the dialogue Vera Farmiga is saying in this TV spot, if it is her mother, then her saying you're a monster and her facial expression with the tears rolling down her cheek, it fits the bill perfectly, because she was just betrayed by the woman she loved the most, her mom's. And dude, I'm totally on board with that.
That's what it does look like. It looks like she's very sad and like heartbroken when she says it.
Yeah, it's like she was punched hard in like her heart was ripped out. And I love
or the mom kills Mothra. She kills Mothra. She like presses like
the nuke button,
whatever the button, and it like homins the monsters, and the King Ghidorah just rips Mothra to shreds. No.
Oh my god! But I'll tell you, bro, I'm totally on board with that. I think that's a great thought. It's a great idea, great theory, a great theory. I'm with it. Yeah, man. I'm so excited, dude. We still got 2 months, almost 3 months for this freaking movie, man. No, 3 months, because it comes out at the end of May. Man.
No, it's like, can we just sleep?
Right. Can we just like aliens, go on one of those cryopods and just take a nap until it's time? I don't mind waking up looking like Ripley. I'm good with that.
Or you'd be like Cartman from South Park when he has Butters burying him in the snow and he wakes up like 20,000 years later.
Oh my god.
And he's pissed. He's like, Butters, you asshole.
Well, all I'm saying is the next trailer definitely give us more story, less monster, and if you're going to use monster, recycle footage from the previous trailers. This way, you don't show your hand. You have to play poker here. You have to play poker. Do not show your hand. Don't Kong Skull Island.
Load.
Right. Do not Kong Skull Island this. Kong Skull Island was very reactionary to the criticisms of G14, the movie. Not the trailers, the movie. And they were like, show everything in the trailers. And that was unfortunate.
Because they really wanted people to go in and see the movie. And I understand that. I really do. But now with Godzilla, I don't think you need to do that. I think with that one trailer, you got everybody on board. We know it's not going to be like 2014. We know this movie's not going to be shy of monsters.
Right.
Just don't ruin it. Don't make the mistake and let us see the movie in the trailer. Let us pay to see the movie. Don't show us the movie for free. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I want to pay. I want to support this legendary MonsterVerse as much as I can. I'll tell you what I wouldn't mind either. I've been saying this since the first trailer dropped. All I want to do, all I want to hear is either King Ghidorah's cackle or Rodan's roar. Give me that. I'm okay with that. I just want to hear
it. You know what would be a cool trailer? For a third trailer, if it was just all black screen and all you hear were the monsters roar.
That would be cool for us.
And then at the end of it, like you see little bits and like, okay, let's put it this way: they do bits and pieces of like the story of Madison Russell's character, and she's going through all this, and you see stuff like that, and they show like story of the agency that's trying to kidnap her. But then in between those segments, you hear one by one King Ghidorah roar, or Godzilla roar, Mothra roar, Rodan roar, King Ghidorah roar. And right when it reaches King Ghidorah's roar, you show the scene where they're charging at each other.
Oh, yes, because, dude, I'm telling you, you hear Godzilla roaring in that second trailer running at King Ghidorah, but you do not hear King Ghidorah roaring as he's running at Godzilla. Give me the cackle. I'm okay with that. I am okay with listening to these creatures screaming and screeching and roaring, and give me that. It's some of my favorite childhood memories, just trying to imitate these creatures roaring. And it's very cold outside, and some of y'all are getting blasted with winter weather. When I was young growing up in New York, and it was snowing and all that stuff, that's what I did, man. I walked along the sidewalk, literally along the curb, because the snow was packed up there, because the spreaders would just like push everything to the sidewalk so the streets were clear, and I would walk along the curb and pretend that all of these snow mounds were actually buildings and I was Godzilla. It's cold enough so you can see your breath. There was my atomic breath. And I'd mimic Godzilla. I would mimic his roars. I would mimic Ghidorah's roar, Rodan's roar. I tried to mimic Anguirus. That's a very hard roar. But Megalon is pretty cool. I used to do that. And So I guess that's why I want it so bad, because that little kid in me is like, you need to hear it. Listen, where is it? Give it to me.
So it's so funny you say that, because as a kid, I have ADD. I have ADD now, which is why I'm an insomniac, stuff like that. I have really bad ADD, and I would watch Godzilla so much and play the Godzilla video games so much as a kid. At school, I would actually start hallucinating that I'm hearing the monsters. And I remember one time I was sitting at my desk in school, and I heard Anguirus roar, and I jumped out of my seat. And my teacher in my class is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing." I was going to tell them I just heard a monster in my head because they're like, "Oh, we need to get this kid out of school." But yeah, as a kid, to me, stuff like that, like I just heard, I watched this video, this fan made video of Mothra, and they did the old Mothra theme, and just hearing that, it's like a big, it's like such beautiful nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I just love that. So like hearing the monsters roar would be amazing.
And it would
because
no, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was going to say, to think about it, this is the first time in almost a decade or more that we've actually heard these monsters roar.
Yeah.
Make noises. And that's just amazing to think about. Like, that's we're going to hear them again. We're going to see them again.
And it's funny. It's funny coming from an American production. Again, this is one of those things that I do look forward to in Godzilla movies. And we've had this discussion on earlier episodes of the Godzilla Block Party about Godzilla's roars. I mean, we were so hyped to hear Shin Godzilla, right? For the first time. Like, what are they going to use? What are they going to use? And they used several different versions of Godzilla's roar in that movie, and I thought that was pretty dope. I'm always excited to hear what comes next. You know, like in 1998, it's there, it's not there. Is he an elephant? What is it? I don't know. But then you hear it maybe once or twice in the movie. There's Godzilla. There's Godzilla. Same thing with Transformers. I'm going to use Transformers reference. All I want to hear is that transformation sound. Say, that's it. That's it. But it doesn't sound like that until certain moments. And you're like, there it is. There it is. And it gets you hyped, right? That's what I want to hear. And if they do that, okay, if this third teaser actually gives us all the monsters roars, then the average movie goer, they just look at it as like, all right, that's cool, like that's just them. But that's more fan service. That's for us. That's for the fans. And in all honesty, and I respect Legendary as a film company, they try to do it the way I love IDW. They try to do it for the fans. I'm telling you right now, if I had control of my own destiny, where I had the money and I can either, make comic books, own a comic book company, or make movies, I would be IDW or I would be Legendary. Because that is, you can tell it's love. You know what I mean? It's whoever runs them, and whoever runs those companies has the same type of love you have, I have, for either the kaijus or just in general. Everything IDW, for me, I love it. Ghostbusters, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Godzilla. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? And Transformers, it's crazy. Same thing with Legendary. What they're doing with Godzilla, the movies they've put out, stuff like The Great Wall. I love that movie, man. It's a fucking kaiju movie, bro. It's fun. Things like that. I really do appreciate it. That being said, that third trailer, they give the cackle of King Ghidorah. They give Rodan's roar. We already heard Godzilla and Mothra. You want to throw some extra Mothra in there? I'm not mad. It's fan service. It will make me happy. I'm pretty sure to make a whole bunch of y'all out there happy. And it just sings to the soul, man. It sings to the soul. So, yeah, that's where I stand on that. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. I love the idea.
I am 100% with you. And then, like I said, as long as they don't show us too much, because it's one of those things too. It's like we won't know what we actually see in the trailer until we actually see the movie. With that, you know what I mean? It's not like let's say we won't actually know if we've seen the whole movie in the trailer until we actually go see the film. You know?
Yeah.
And so now's the thing, because it's like, you know, you saw Kong Skull Island, like, yeah, maybe there's still more to be seen. You know, and then, but it's like, who knows now? What if we've already seen the whole Godzilla movie, you know, in the trailers? And I mean, but I doubt that. I really doubt it.
No, man, we haven't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen
the frozen Muto yet.
We haven't seen King Ghidorah break out of his frozen prison. So there's a lot that's still under wraps that needs to stay there.
Yes. And I don't want to see King Ghidorah come out of its prison.
Until I'm in the theater.
I don't want to see the frozen Muto. I don't want to see Godzilla get hurt. I don't know. I mean, maybe I would like to see. I kind of would just love to see Rodan pecking at Godzilla. I just would love to see that. I do. I want to see Godzilla and Rodan. I want to see Godzilla and Rodan more than anything.
I don't want to see that. I want to wait till the movies. I want to be surprised. I genuinely want to be so. I want the popcorn to fly. Oh shit! That's what I want. You know, when you get excited to see something popcorn fly. That's what I want.
I agree, but I just think it would be funny seeing Rodan pecking at Godzilla's face.
Well, hopefully,
and that's like the only new thing we see.
Maybe we get that a week after the movie comes out, and then that's cool. Then spoil away.
Watch. The trailers are gonna start coming out for Japan, and Japan's just gonna totally spoil the whole movie like they did in 2014.
Well, I'm staying away. I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah, stay away from Japan's trailers. But I mean, they did put out a trailer for Japan, but it was the same exact trailer we got, but just edited differently. So I hope that's the case. But I mean, like 2014, they spoiled Godzilla's atomic breath scene and everything in their trailer. Yeah. Like, wow, such a spoil.
Yeah, at that point in time, I wasn't even paying attention, so I'm glad I wasn't, because I was super surprised and happy in the theater. I will say that. But anyway, listen, man, that's about it. We'll wrap this up right here. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a minute. I apologize for that. That is on me. We will hopefully be doing these things. I mean, the movie's coming out soon, so we should be talking more and more. It depends on how much I want to be spoiled, though. It depends on how much I want to be spoiled, and I really don't want to be spoiled. I don't. That's why I have G73 here as my right hand, because he vets everything. Because even though he says he doesn't want to be spoiled, I know him. He's gonna look at it anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that too. And it's like I'm sitting here right now, and I'm like, if there is more, I'm probably just gonna upload it and not even look at it. But then it's like, then if I do that, people are gonna be talking about it, and I'm gonna be like, I can't contain myself. Well, that was my Jeffrey Dean Morgan right there. I can't contain myself.
You're good. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Chase, for being here once again with me on this podcast.
Anytime, any day. If I'm available to do it, I will.
That's it. And I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for your patience. We will be, hopefully doing this thing more. And if it's not a Godzilla block party, it's probably a geek out. It's probably something we just want to talk about outside of Godzilla. But be sure there will be more G-Show podcast stuff coming in 2019. I mean, Star Wars is coming. We got Avengers. We got all this Marvel stuff coming. A ton of stuff. But as it pertains to this, Godzilla, #1, King of the Monsters. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party. I am G1. You guys have been great. We're out of here.